Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Elle. I do mostly bookish videos on a somewhat weekly basis. Today I am here to do my Olympic Games Readathon. This was a readathon that was based on the Greek Olympic gods, and it ran all through the month of June. There were 8 challenges total, but you had to finish the first 5 challenges before you could do the advanced challenges. So out of 8 challenges, I only finished 5, but I did get through all of the 5 main challenges, which I'm pretty proud of myself. 5 books in a month. So let's talk about the books I read for the Olympic Games Readathon. The first book I read was The Wicked King by Holly Black. This is the second book in the Folk of the Air series. I gave this book a 5 stars, and wow, did I enjoy it. Obviously, I can't give too much of a summary because it is a sequel, so if you haven't read The Cruel Prince, you need to read that first. However, I will say the drama and the betrayal in this second book was so intense. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. Holy moly, it was a ride. The second book I read was Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nagan, and I gave this book a 3.5 stars. This has been sitting on my shelf since it came out, and I'm so glad that I was able to get through it for this readathon. 17-year-old Leigh is brutally taken from her family and forced to become one of the demon's paper girls, who are essentially just playthings for the Demon King. And this is Demon King literally, like he is a king and he is a demon monster thing. He uses them sexually. They are just his playthings to use however he wishes. However, Leigh is not going to let them break her so easily. She has a fire in her that is just begging to be released, and it made this book so impactful. Obviously, trigger warnings for rape, sexual abuse, violence. There are pretty hard topics that are discussed or that happen in this book, but I think the author handled it really well. It wasn't all like sadness and tough times. There were some empowering and emotional moments as well that just really balanced out the tragedy in this book. There is a slow sapphic romance, which I absolutely lived for. I am not a fan of slow burn romances, but for some reason in this book, there was just the moments, the little glances. I loved it. I lived for it. I was a little lost with the politics and the mythology in this world, but it didn't hinder my enjoyment of it at all. I think I just needed to read a little bit more carefully, analyze a little bit more on what everything was going on. Next, I read Four Dead Queens by Astrid Schuldt. I gave this 4 stars. This is an action-packed political YA story that left me completely stunned. I don't want to say too much because I just think it is way more fun for you to go into it and discover it on your own, but be prepared for the twists and turns that will not allow you to put this book down. I'm pretty sure I read this book in like a day. I hadn't really heard a lot about this book or really didn't know what it was about other than there was a murder and they were trying to figure out who it was, but it was a lot more involved than just that. Next, I read The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, and I gave this book a 3 stars. This is a classic that I haven't read since high school. I forgot how bleak and dreary it was. I really pitied Gatsby and his effort to turn back time. Like, I feel like for the entirety of the book, there's just so much dreariness, which I guess is kind of the point. But I remember enjoying it in high school. I enjoyed it this time around as well. I don't remember if this is something that happened when I read it in high school, or maybe I just didn't appreciate it in high school, but I did feel that while reading this book, it made me feel nostalgic for my own life, like for the things that I would like to go back and change, or just moments that I wish had stayed the same. Even now, when I was writing my notes for the wrap-up, if I thought too much about the book, book, it gave me a sense of melancholy. It's very strange. Finally, I read one of my new favorite books of 2020, and that is You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogle. Obviously, I gave this book a 5 stars. So this is like a lovers to frenemies to lovers trope book, and I loved it. It just worked so well. I feel like it balanced out really well the humor and the witty parts with the emotional, like, romantic bits as well. I don't know, I just thought it did really well. There were a lot of moments where I actually laughed out loud and giggled, and I listened to the audiobook and I thought the narrator did a really good job. I mean, she nailed it with Naomi's voice. I loved it. Watching Naomi and Nicholas find their love for each other again was just so beautiful, and I don't know, since I am newly engaged, I just feel like it touched me even more just watching these two. It's fantastic. I cannot say enough about this book. Naomi is so witty and petty, but like in all the best possible ways. And even though she is a little annoying at the beginning, she does grow, and towards the end she does mature. And Nicholas is just this vulnerable sweetheart with some hidden sass in him, and I love it. I live for Nicholas. Their development both as individuals and as a couple was probably one of my favorite aspects, just watching them grow and develop. It's just, it was beautiful. So it's just a good time. It's a fun time. It's funny, like it genuinely is funny. I really like this author's writing. Everything just felt really organic in the dialogue. Amazing. You should definitely read this book. Those are the 5 books I read for the Olympic Games Readathon. I did finish You Deserve Each Other yesterday, June 30th, so I wasn't able to do the advanced challenges, but regardless, I still feel pretty proud of myself for getting through the 5 main challenges. Hopefully I did Team Aphrodite proud. Let me know in the comments how you guys did. Were you able to get through all of the challenges? Did you bring honor to your cabin, guys, or did you let them down? Let me know in the comments. My name is Elle. How did we do, Team Aphrodite? And I'll see you in next time's video.